we jump into now Alabama at the wide receiver position. Alabama at wide receiver. And what's incredible is the beautiful thing about college football. The beautiful thing about Alabama football is you never know which player could be maybe the surprise player. You never know which player may sneak up on you, rise up out of nowhere, put on a show. You never know, and that's the beauty of it. I mean, for the Crimson Tide, these athletes get the opportunity to kind of have a job interview in front of Coach Saban, a job interview to see, which one of these players could pop, which one of these players could be successful, which one of these players could be really, really big time in terms of being that next man up, being a part of that next wave of talent, getting on the field, showing Coach Saban, I want it better, I want it more than everybody else on the field. And just when you look at this wide receiver room here for a moment, at one point in time, and this was after, of course, Julio Jones left for the NFL, Crimson Tide had Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper was the main guy, but there were moments where Kenny Bell would catch a big pass from A.J. McCarron, and fans would be like, man, he's quick. And then, Amari Cooper would be the main guy, but A.J. McCarron or Blake Sims would hook up with DeAndre White on a fade route or a post route, and fans would go, my God, he's a great route runner. Or, Amari Cooper was the main guy, but then when A.J. McCarron needed to play more than what he needed his next breath, he would go find number 83, Kevin Norwood, and fans would go, my gracious, he is always at the right spot at the right time. And then, as much as Amari Cooper was the main guy, Christian Jones would get lost in the shuffle, and the quarterback play would find him. So, even though Amari Cooper at that time was the big factor, was the number one receiver, was the presence that everybody was focused on, you always had surprise. Someone else would step up in a big moment to make a big play. It was a new wave, a different wave. Somebody different would make, a huge play, in the receiving game. It was the same thing, when Calvin Ridley came in. Calvin was the main guy, but there were moments where Ardarius Stewart caught the football and people were like, oh, okay, AD, Savage Sledgehammer, we see you. Calvin Ridley was the main guy, but there were moments where Richard Mullaney, a.k.a. Slade Pippen, the graduate transfer from Oregon State, would make a play and folks would be like, was that? Okay, Richard Mullaney, we see you right there. There were moments when Robert Foster was healthy, when Cam Sims was healthy, they would make plays. The same thing with, you had Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, and Henry Ruggs were all freshmen at the time. Later on, they would make plays. And then, of course, as that trio got older, people put the whole spotlight on Jeudy, but Ruggs would catch a play and burn you. Devontae Smith would catch a play and burn you. Jalen Waddle, this year, the last couple of years, has caught plays and burned opposition. So while people put the spotlight on one player or a couple of guys, the surprise is always, who's the next guy in line? Who's the next man that not many people know that could pop, that could do something, that could be really, really special here for this group? And just, when you look at this group of wide receivers, people pretty much have an idea of Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. I mean, these are the two leaders. These are the two elder statesmen. People know what to expect from these two. Coach Saban knows what to expect. The coaching staff knows what to expect. You as the fans know what to expect. The opposition knows what to expect. Even the media, even at times we have our moments of ignorance. The media, even we know what to expect when you look at Devontae Smith and Jalen Waddle. We know what these guys are capable of. The question is, who's the next wave? Who's the next guy? Who's next to pop? And for me, I sure thought it was going to be Tyrell Shavers. Boy, was I wrong. That young man is now at Mississippi State. You have a lot of people that had their chip stacked to John Metchie, and I really like John Metchie. I mean, this is Calvin Ridley 2.0. This is Calvin Ridley, Canadian twin. I would not say that if I did not believe it, and I wholeheartedly believe it. I mean, here's a guy that wore number 3 before he switched to number 8. The body structure similar to Calvin, the hands similar, the route running similar, the explosive playmaking ability similar. But on top of that, I know we've seen him more so in spring games, but he got on the field quite a bit last season, was able to make a couple of plays on the field. So a lot of people are like, they're wanting Metchie to pop, and Metchie's a good option. But you've got guys that have their chips stacked to Slade Bolden. And Slade Bolden, the Gatorade Player of the Year out of the state of Louisiana in 2017, went to West Monroe High School. Here is somebody that shares the same story as the New England Patriots' Julian Edelman. When Edelman was in high school in California, he played quarterback. He played quarterback in college at Kent State University, Coach Saban's alma mater. Of course, when he got to the NFL to play with the New England Patriots, he was switched to wide receiver. But when you watch Slade Bolden, you see the potential to Edelman. But not just Edelman, I see potential to Wes Welker as well. The toughness that Welker played with, his ability to run the option routes really, really well. He made the option route what it became. And so when you watch, Bolden run routes, you get a little bit of Julian Edelman. You get a little bit of Wes Welker in his game. And also he's got the ability to throw the football as Slade Bolden, a former quarterback. He can run the Slade cat formation at the backfield, picking up yards with his legs, can do a little bit of everything. And last but not least, a third guy here, you got Xavier Williams, a young man out of Florida that not too many people talk about, but he could be a surprise. He could be a pop. He could be somebody that can say, hey, coming up out of the water coming out of the water at you, and you didn't really expect, him to do that. Alabama's also got 3 freshmen in Javon Baker, who's cutting up in summer, thus far. Bayou Jones-Bell, also Trayshawn Holden at 6'3". So it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really captivating to see who is the surprise? Who's the next wave? Who's the next man? Because part of being that wide receiver that the Alabama program, the coaching staff, and the players love is they're able to find that next wave of talent. They already have an idea of who the main couple of guys are, but justify that next wave of talent and have it pop instantly. But folks, if you want to know, or if you want to have the best news, notes, information, and coverage on your Crimson Tide, it's very simple, very easy to do. You can do this, get this by downloading the Touchdown Alabama Magazine app from the iPhone App Store if you're rocking Team Apple, Google Play Store if you've got the Android phone. For your audio listening needs, we got you covered, whether it's iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Spreaker, TuneIn Radio, Google Play, Overcast.fm, or iHeartRadio. We've got you covered. If the good and gracious Lord sees fit, I will return on Friday, continuing the conversation that is Bama football. As always, folks, you can also purchase your individual copies of the magazine, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. There's a link in the description. You will get those copies sent to your door. But until next time, folks, husbands love your wives. Wives appreciate, value those husbands. Children, be sure to continue doing those things legitimately now to not be bored. Get you those 3 hearty meals a day, those 3 great laughs a day. Protect yourself. Protect the loved ones around you. Until next time, folks, I'm your man, Stephen M. Smith, and this has been In My Own Words. Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.